My inspiration for starting House of Tara was born out of a little girl's interest in beauty, makeup. My mom was very fashionable, loved to apply her makeup, do her nails. And I think that's where the interest started from. I got into university and my friends wanted me to do their makeup, and they would ask me for advice, how do you think I should do my makeup? And I would do that, and subsequently found out that I could start a business just in charging. And so I would do the makeup and charge. And that's where the House of Tara story started. It grew from that, from just doing makeup for people who were getting married, and really was really about occasional makeup, bridal. That was a big occasion, right? And the thing that people were also, it was a big day for everyone, and they wanted to look extra special. So I was more than willing to give of my time to make them look more beautiful on their wedding days. There's a startup stage of the business, and then there's a growing stage of the business, and we're at a level where we'll call ourselves a maturing stage in the business. So the challenges have differed in the three different stages of the business. When at the startup stage, it was really about people trying to convince people that they should pay for the service, because many brides who were getting married had their makeup done by their aunts, their moms, their older sisters. In some cases, they did it themselves. But now I was creating an entire different genre that didn't exist before. And I was saying, I want to charge for this skill that I'm sharing. And that was one of the greatest challenges at the time. In terms of at the growth stage, when we created our own line of products, it was financing, trying to raise finance to expand the line. So we started with 3 eyeshadows and 3 lip glosses. Our distribution channel accepted, were excited about the brand. They saw an indigenous brand, a brand that was owned by a Nigerian. As we've gotten to a more mature stage with an organogram that is covering the creative arm of the business, the commercial arm of the business, and the operations, because we now have 22 stores across the country, it means that each of these stores needs to be managed from an administrative facility management standpoint. It also means that the creative part of business needs to continue in terms of MPDs, new product development. We have to think about research, what is trends, and also create products from there. We also have to satisfy the needs of our customers who are coming to our studios. And the challenge is now is, how do you ensure that you will remain creative, but make sure that you're making money from your arts, and ensure that you're giving operational excellence. I believe in the concept of competition. I think that soon enough, when I become as big as Steve Jobs, then I can say whatever I like and people will believe me, right? So I see business as one where everyone has something special to offer. And so if we focus on that special that we have to offer, then we can really, really be competitive. So for House of Tara, for example, I've always believed in strong visionary leadership. And visionary leadership meaning always being able to see afar off and being able to, what you call environmental scanning, where you're looking at your environment, you engage with your consumers, but then you know what they need for a season. And so therefore you are quick enough to respond to what that need, those needs are. But there are also times where it's not just about their needs, it's also about your perception of what their needs may be. So what would I consider as a success factor for me? Definitely my faith. I think also my faith is a significant part of who I am, and it's from my faith that I have a lot of courage. My courage is not based on just having courage. It's based on some of the principles that as a Christian I've had to live every day. That is a significant part of many of the internal strengths that I have as a person. That's the source. But also from a family standpoint, I have a very extremely supportive husband who's more passionate about House of Tara than I am even. And I think that to a large extent, it's easier for anyone to succeed when you have a supportive spouse. You can thrive. You're not afraid to take new steps because you feel like you have someone who's holding your hand or standing by you. Many times it's just knowing that there's someone who's by your side. It makes it easier for you to dream. Many of the reasons why sometimes we don't dream is because we don't have a good supportive system around us. I have been very privileged to have a very strong support system from a family standpoint and from a mentor standpoint. I have an amazing mentor who's extremely supportive of me as a person to ensure that I succeed as a mom and as a wife, but also succeed in my business. And she's the chair of our board, Mrs. Ibukwan Woshika, and she's consistently proven herself to be one. And I think if we all had the kind of support systems that I have found that I've enjoyed, I think a lot of people will thrive more on their journey. To build into a conglomerate, to take something as simple as a small business with 15,000, it takes commitment. You've got to stay committed. That's one. Two of them you have. Secondly, you have to have a vision. The vision has to be clear to you. And you have to be convinced about your vision. I think that a lot of people go into business because they just want to imitate somebody else. They want to copy and paste. Unfortunately, if you're not a visionary, you didn't see the areas where somebody else has seen, and becomes difficult for you to thrive. Doing business in Nigeria is tough, but hey, Dangote is doing it, Nika Ogulisi is doing it, Ibukwan Woshika is doing it, and there are many people who are doing it. They're not just doing it, they're scaling it up, right? So you see Health Plus across the country, you see Med Plus across the country. These are women who started with one shop, and maybe they had that one shop for 5 years. And then they learned the model and then expanded. Today, House of Fire is 22 stores. We have almost 200 employees. It didn't happen because I was just having this merry-go-round. It's tough, but guess what? If it's not tough, then you can't really enjoy the success, right? I can walk into my office and be excited because I know I work with money. And there's a sense of satisfaction that gives you that you can never get anywhere else. And so hard work is important. You have to put your hand to the plow. You have to work it out. There are days that are going to be very, very difficult, but you've got to close your eyes and say, I have a vision. I'm going to stay focused on this vision, and until I achieve it, I am not going to rest. And if Tara could do it, then I can.